Alright guys, we're going to do A350 flight. There is a winter storm. Sorry for my congestion. Out of Air ABQ, Albuquerque. Snowing. We're going to head to Denver. So I was able to change everything to snow except for the actual Albuquerque airport just because it's an old scenery and I can't figure out how to change the mesh because it has a custom mesh. But it's just surrounding the airport. Once I get outside the airport, everything will be white as snow. And the entire airport of Denver will be snow. So I do have that made up correctly. $29.72 is our altimeter, which, by the way, since that is under standard, flight level 180 is not available. If you wanted to file an IFR at 18,000 feet, you would not be able to, because for every inch of mercury you lose in the altimeter pressure, you lose a flight level. So anything less than 2992, you lose 180. If it was like 2872, then you lose an additional flight level, which would be 190 in that case. So 2972 is no 180, 2872 is no 18 or 19, and 2772 would be no 18, 19, or 20. So no flight level 180, 190, or 200. For every inch, you lose a flight level. So if you go to file an IFR and they say unable, might be because of your altimeter. And it's only valid for your departure usually. Um, so, yep, that's that. So we're going to plan 26 departure, which means my departure is not correct for the runway because we're going to want runway. What do we want here? 26. So that'd be the atomic 3. Yep, that works. And Denver is, let's see what Denver is currently landing real fast on my laptop here. They're landing north, so we shall plan 35 left from Ladora. 33, all that's fine. Okay, we got 45 minutes extra fuel. In case the weather rolls in, which I don't think it will. I didn't check the tab. So when I say 35 left, we can arrive. That's fine. It's pretty cloudy. Winds are light out of the west. Current with information Delta. And we're planning a 26 departure. Download that. Follow this mess on Pilot Edge, CBDLC, A350 slant Lima is your equipment code, your transponder, Albuquerque, Denver 33. We're not going to do an alternate for that since we have Cat 3 capability. Landing. Gondola. Yep. Flight plan on file. The other reason I like to fly on Pilot Edge is you got all the drones that ATC gives us radar services for. So even if there's not a whole lot of real people flying, they still have other airplanes that they can advise you about other traffic. Whereas VATSIM, there is absolutely no ATC online. So all these people that claim they're having all this online experience, that's complete BS. They're not talking to anybody. They're not following any kind of rules. There's no separation going on. There's nothing. So I find it much more realistic to pay for Pilot Edge. It's not that expensive. I don't work for them. But come on, 20 bucks a month, even cheaper if you pay by the year, and you're guaranteed ATC for like every day, all day, for 15 hours, I think. Let's see. 8 a.m. to 11 Pacific. So that's like 1 o'clock my time, a.m. So, I mean, you've got all day to fly. The entire west side of the country. So you have all these airports that are considered towered, and then you have top-down coverage. Everything's done just like you would in real life here. It's really, really cool. So you get what you pay for, and that's my soapbox on that. All right. So we're going to do the Atomic 3 departure because we're taking off 26. So I got to be above 8,000 at Foxer, above 10, above 11.5, no greater than 250 knots until after Tequila. And we got to have a standard climb, 500 feet per nautical mile to 11.5. So that would mean so we're going to be looking at a ground speed of 250 or less. So as long as we're doing somewhere around 2,000 feet per minute in the climb, we'll be making that initial climb to 11.5. So we'll be good to go there. Kind of gusty winds. Denver's cloudy. Pretty sure there's a scheduled flight out of here. We can change the aircraft type, that's no problem. All right, so top altitude is flight level 200, and we'll do at least 2,000 feet per minute till we reach 11.5. So no less than 2,000 feet per minute till we get to Tequila, then we can do whatever, I guess. All right, so that is it. And you can see there's a storm down here. Otherwise, we've got a nice tailwind going up. Let's hit it. All right. So bring up this on my laptop so I can get the fuel calculations. I'm just going to rerun the sim brief once I know the weight. Easy peasy. All right, so we're going to go with, let's see here. First, let's throw on some lights, shall we? So we can do nav, logo. Oh yeah, that's not going to work yet. So we got those on. Bus tie. There we go. All right, now we're cooking. Let's do 190, 36, and we'll leave one extra for that. That gives us 190.6. So I'm going to punch that in. And 190600. And we're doing 2635 left arrival. Got atomic 3, that's correct. 45 minutes extra calculated fuel. So 23% on the CG. 00 fuel weight CG. So block fuel is 12776. And we got APU of 40 minutes, taxi time 15, so that's 13.7, plenty of fuel. I got the APU going. Turn on some lights. There we got APU gen. We got bleed air. And things be warming up. $18 quarts of oil. Hydro is full. Anti-skid on. Those three are facing up. Okay. We are United 1399. And we are from Albuquerque. We're going to Denver. Got 4 minutes till that's done aligning.
Instructions. Advise on initial contact you have information Delta.
Still Delta, so nothing's changed there. So 2972. Elevations 53, 55. 2972. That's good. Let's go ahead and grab our clearance. I'll take about 30 seconds, so we'll listen out for the tone to let us know it's ready. Got 3 minutes left on that. There's the tone. That was pretty fast. So we do ATC message. Next, hit standby. Otherwise, it disappears after a minute and a half. You hit standby, and you have you have all day to read it. Clear to Denver. Atomic 3. Atomic as filed. Climb via. Expect 330 on 10. Departure 127.4. Squawk 4664 will accept us. That closes out the the clearance, CBDL, whatever the hell it's called, CPDLC. I'm just writing down the squawk here, 4664. I'll keep that open in the background. So we've got our squawk. All that is good. All that's good. 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 Barrow is good. Checked all that. Okay. Got 1 minute till that is done. We are at Albuquerque, and we are at A3, I believe. Yep, A3. So we should be in a neighborhood of 3529. Can't change it. I think it just, as long as it's close. 3529, 106.37. Wonder if you could change it down here though. You know, I don't want to mess with it. It's close enough. It will work. So, no problemo. All my other Airbuses, you can actually change this, but this won't let you. see if I can change it here. 3529. Well, 106.370. All right, 3529. Just learned something new. 106.370. Go ahead and align that bad boy. There we go. Cool. I never thought of that before. Good deal. Learn something new every day.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain and crew would like to welcome you on board this Airbus A350. If you haven't already done so, please stow your carry-on luggage underneath the seat in front of you, or in an overhead bin. The flight crew will do everything possible to make your flight comfortable and enjoyable. Xplane.org, onesim.com, and Ramses Aviation Design wish you a pleasant flight experience.
All right, we got tail 7, and our cruise temp today at 33 is minus 56. And the tropa is 313. So all that is good. I'm going to do a departure. Runway 26 via the Atomic 3 departure. Add this to my laptop real fast so I can see it. And then Denver, we're looking at 3 left. From Medora via the T-bar 3 from Gondola. So ILS 35 left, which I need to also add that to my notes, my laptop for quick access when we get there. And from Ladora, Correctamundo. All right, so we'll insert that. Insert that. We got 190.6. $96, 23, 13.6. Taking it from that fuel on board, and our 263. Well, that is good. Do perf calculator. Do 1F, 161 and 63. Flaps 1, flex A340. And let's do 6,000. $65. All that is good. Go back to flight plan. Let's go to winds, climb, grab our winds there. All right, let's get my A cars rocking here. Potage. I don't know, what can we do? 230 for the 350 at 33.
Welcome aboard, everyone.
All right,
Before we
worked.
get moving, please be sure to fasten your seatbelt, return your seat back folding trays to their full upright position, and store your carry-on luggage in either an overhead bin or under the seat in front of you. If seated next to a
And top altitude is flight level 200.
not wish to perform the functions described in them in the event of an emergency, please inform the flight attendant so that they may proceed. We request that all portable electronic devices such as mobile phones or laptops be either turned off or put in airplane mode at this time. This is because these devices may interfere with the aircraft's navigational and communication equipment. We will inform you when you may continue using these devices. We would like to remind you that smoking on board this aircraft is prohibited by law, as is tampering with, disabling, or destroying lavatory smoke detectors. If you have any questions about this flight today, don't hesitate to ask myself or another flight attendant. Have a great flight.
Let's back up this way
Ground
today.
to cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you're ready. Ground to cockpit, toes driving up.
All right, we're gonna squawk 4664 and put that on.
Okay, all doors, hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
21.9 and 120.3 is tower.
November 9, or correction, November 719er X-ray Tango leaving San Francisco Bravo airspace, radar service terminated, squawk VFR, frequency change approved.
Leaving the Bravo, squawk VFR, frequency change approved. Thank you, 719er X-ray Tango.
Go ahead and lock that door.
So connected, bypass pin inserted. Release the parking brake.
Gotta turn those on, otherwise you'll drift backwards. That's why I left the chocks in place.
Attention all flight attendants, doors automatic.
Okay, feel all that is good. I already did all that. Did that.
Solid ground Delta 1484, just pushed off of Alpha 8, information Alpha request taxi.
ECAM, it's auto, engine start selector to start.
Delta 1484, Salt Lake City ground, squawk normal.
Starting pushback, go ahead and start the engines.
On behalf of the captain and crew, welcome aboard the flight. Make sure your seatbelt is fastened. Return your seat back to the trays to their full upright position. Also, please turn off all
Delta 1484, squawk altitude.
Delta 1484, squawk altitude.
Delta 1484, thank you. Runway 34 left, taxi via Bravo Alpha 1.
Bravo Alpha 1 for Delta 1484.
Operation complete, set the parking brake. Disconnecting tow, stand by.
Alright, got two good gens. So I'll go ahead and turn off the APU. Turn all those on. Into ice, did that. APU, ground spoilers are not armed yet, so we'll go ahead and arm those, and we'll do a takeoff flaps 1. Pitch should be automatic, 24, 24, all good to go.
Tow is disconnected, bypass pin's been removed. Hand signal on the left, she's all yours, Captain.
All right, all that is good. Do auto brake, takeoff config check.
Solid Tower, Delta 1484, just approaching the hold point 34 left, fully ready on route change.
Okay.
Alignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information
Delta
Foxtrot.
1484 Salt Lake City Tower. Turn left heading 280.
Albuquerque International Airport.
Wind 280 at 11, runway 34 left, clear for takeoff.
Wind 160 at 19. Visibility 5. Light snow. Mist. Ceiling 600 overcast. Temperature 1. Dew point -1. Altimeter 2971. Arriving and departing runways 8, 21. ILS runway 8 and RNAV runway 21 approach and use VFR departures contact during delivery. Advise on course heading, altitude, and
All right, we're gonna have to change our departure now, so that figures. Let's do departure runway 8 via the Hermes 3. And that means I'm going to need to do the perf again. '61, '63, all that's the same apparently. I wish I had a better perf calculator. '61, '63.
Ladies and gentlemen, we request your full attention as the flight attendants demonstrate the safety features of this aircraft. When the seatbelt sign illuminates, you must fasten your seatbelt, insert the metal fittings one into the other, and tighten by pulling on the loose end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buckle. We suggest that you keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the flight, as we may experience turbulence.
Delta
Airbus
1484,
A350
contact departure.
has 8 emergency exits,
Delta
4 on the left
1484,
side of the cabin and 4 on the right. Please take a few moments now to locate your nearest exit. In some cases, your nearest exit may be behind you.
Departure Delta 1484, passing 63, coming
Full
10,000.
level lighting will guide you towards the exit.
Delta 1484 Salt Lake City departure, radar contact.
The handle in the direction of the arrow. Each door is equipped with an inflatable slide, which may
The
also be detached
climb
and
for
used as a
runway
hot
8 is
bar.
exactly the same,
Oxygen and the air pressure
except
are
100 feet
always
lower,
being
so up to
monitored. In the
11.3,
event of
2,000
any
feet per
compression,
minute, so that's
an
fine.
oxygen mask will automatically
NorCal approach, November 719er, X-ray Tango, type Beechcraft Baron / Golf. Overhead, the point raised VOR, requesting flight following at 12,500 to Samoa Field, that's Oscar 33.
If you are traveling with a child or someone who requires assistance, secure secure your mask on first, and then assist the other person.
November 719 X-ray Tango, NorCal approach, you're well outside my airspace, frequency change approved.
In the event of an emergency, please
Roger,
assume the
frequency
braces
change approved, 719er, X-ray Tango.
on top of your head.
Delta
Alright,
1484,
I'm gonna have to
resume
talk
normal
to
speed,
clearance
turn left,
first.
direct scan to climb via arches, 1 departure.
The vest is located in a pouch under
Left
your
fire
seat,
scan, resume normal
between the
speed,
armrests.
climb via
When
SID,
instructed to do so,
Delta
open the plastic
1484.
pouch and remove the vest. Slip it over your head, pass the straps around your waist, and adjust at the front. To inflate the vest, pull firmly on the red cord, only when leaving the aircraft. If you need to refill the vest, blow into the
Albuquerque
mouthpiece.
clearance, United 1399 Heavy. I'm now current with Foxtrot. I can change to the Hemes 3 departure for runway 8.
Pull the cushion from the seat, slip your arms into the straps, and hug the cushion to your chest. The following electronic devices,
United 1399, Albuquerque clearance, standby.
computers, may be used when the seatbelt sign is off, or when permitted by the crew. Mobile telephones, remote-controlled toys, or any electronic devices operating with an antenna must be turned off at all times. We remind you that this is a non-smoking flight. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying the smoke detectors located in the lavatories is prohibited by law. You will find this and all the other safety information in the card located in the seat pocket in front of you. We strongly suggest you read it before takeoff. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask one of our crew members. We wish you all an enjoyable flight. Thank you.
It is recommended that you read it before we take off. If you have any questions, please ask myself or another crew member. We hope you enjoy your flight.
United 1399 Heavy, clear to the Denver Airport, Hemes 3 departure, Hemes. Direct gondola, then as filed, climb via SID. Departure frequency 127.4, squawk 4664.
Cleared to Denver via Hemes 3 departure, Hemes direct gondola, then as filed, climb via the SID, departure 127.4, squawk 4664, United 1399 Heavy.
United 1399 Heavy, read back correct.
Alright, so now I'm going to switch to ground, 121.9er, and towers 120.3, so we'll get that on the ready. Albuquerque ground, United 1399 Heavy at the terminal with Foxtrot, ready taxi.
United 1399 Heavy, Albuquerque ground, runway 8, taxi via Alpha.
Runway 8 via Alpha, United 1399 Heavy. Alright, let's go.
Cabin crew, please take your seats for takeoff.
Seven, 4. Albuquerque Tower, United 1399 Heavy, holding short, runway 8.
United 1399 Heavy, Albuquerque Tower, wind 160 at 19er, runway 8, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 8, cleared for takeoff, United 1399 Heavy. Alright, Flex 40 SRS is active. Putting in a ton of left rudder because of that crosswind is crazy. It's like 20 knots almost. Airspeed check.
Lead 1.
Gear coming up.
United 1399 Heavy, contact departure.
Over to departure, United 1399 Heavies, yep. Albuquerque departure, United 1399 Heavy, climbing via the Hemis 3, leaving 6,800.
United 1399 Heavy, Denver departure, or correction, Albuquerque departure, radar contact. Delta 1484, contact Salt Lake City Center 135.77.
2577, Delta 1484, relay.
So, it's very hot back here.
Delta 1484, Salt Lake City Center, climb and maintain level 340.
Breaking out of the clouds. Pretty sure we're golden on terrain ahead of us. Yep. So we'll go back to weather. Gotta be at 12,000 here at green. No problemo. I wasn't worried about the 2,000 feet per minute initially, just because I knew I was climbing at like 3,000 something feet per minute for a little while, so I knew I was going to make up that ground because it's 500 feet per nautical mile to 11. Actually, which one is it? It's not that one. It's not that one. 500 feet nautical mile to 11.3. So we were good.
United 1399, contact Albuquerque Center 134.6.
Albuquerque Center 134.6, United 1399. 34.6. Albuquerque Center, United 1399, coming via the MS3, leaving 15,300.
United 1399, Albuquerque Center, climb and maintain level 330.
Climb maintain flight level 330, United 1399. Alright, we're good as gold. If it changes, it would be 1-6 right. Otherwise, we're going to do 3. Three, 5 left. See, we got snow on the ground. Whole trip will have snow. Standard, all that is good. Check my D-ATIS real fast to make sure that Denver hasn't changed runways yet. Looks like they're still landing north, so we don't have to change anything. We're still on 3-5 left arrival, so all good.
Ladies and gentlemen, our aircraft continues to climb. We would like to remind you that all flights of our airline are non-smoking. For your safety, the lavatories have been equipped with smoke detectors. Damaging or disconnecting the smoke detectors is strictly prohibited. On the overhead panel you will find a personal lamp, air conditioning, and a flight attendant button. The lavatory for the business class passengers are located in the front of the airplane, and for the economy class passengers, in the back and center of the airplane. For your safety, when seated, we recommend to keep your seat belts fastened, even when the fasten seatbelt sign is off.
Alright guys, I'm going to pause the recording until we get to our cruise, so see you there.
Delta 1484, radar contact lost.
Alright, we are checking in with Denver Center, which is 12702. Denver Center, United 1399, flight level 288, climbing 330.
United 1399, Denver Center, roger.
Yeah, don't say with you when you check in with a new controller, because it's not proper phraseology. It's like it's a waste of airspace. So what if someone else needed that airspace? So I try to keep everything just whatever is needed per the rules. So, and there's even some controllers and pilots that will make fun of you if they're like streaming and they hear someone say with you. It's like it's a whole thing apparently. So yeah, I would steer clear of the with you stuff. Also, another little pet peeve that some people get is when you call for your IFR, if you're not using like text clearance, if you call for an IFR, don't end it with as filed. Don't say request IFR to Denver as filed, because you don't always get as filed. So it's almost like an instruction that you're giving the air traffic controller, in order for him to give you the flight plan to which you filed. But it's more of a negotiation. Now, 9 out of 10 times you get what's filed, and most of the time they'll read back clear to Denver via whatever the SID is, then as filed. So you'll hear that a lot, but you don't request a clearance with as filed. It's just that's improper. So, case in point, I filed the Atomic 3 departure out of Albuquerque. Well, the airport flow changed from 26 to the runway 8. So my entire IFR flight plan had changed. So what if that had happened prior to me receiving my clearance from ATC? So you wouldn't have wanted to over the radio. I did it text obviously, but if you did it over the radio, you wouldn't have wanted to say cleared to Denver as filed, because he would have said, well, no, I can't give you as filed because the HEMAS 3 is not valid for the runway in use, which is runway 8, which is the Atomic 3 departure. So don't ever say as filed when you request your IFR. The only thing you say is the same thing, for craft, your clearance etiquette. So you just say request over the radio. You would say Albuquerque clearance, United 1399 Heavy. Where you are, I'm at the terminal, current with information Delta. Request IFR to Denver International. You always have to say where your endpoint is, obviously. So then when they read it back, if it changed, they'll give you the change. It would have been the Atomic instead of the HEMAS. No, it would have been the HEMAS instead of the Atomic in this case. And then they would say clear to whatever. So then when you read it back, you'd have to say clear to Denver. You always have to say your end point. You just don't say cleared via the HEMAS 3 departure, HEMAS, then it's filed, whatever. You always have to say cleared to first, and then with the SID and all the rest of the information, the radio, the squawk, so on and so forth. So just a couple tidbits of ATC phraseology that I hear people use improperly over the radio from time to time. So I'm not knocking anybody. I'm just trying to be a little black and white here, so it's no big deal. But if you want to know the proper way to do these things, that's what my channel is about, and I try to bring forth the right way to do things. I'm not a huge entertainer, so that's why I paused my recordings a lot, because if I don't have anything to say, I can't just gab and gab. So I used to stream, but it was very tough to hold an audience because I'm not an entertainer. I like teaching. I like passing on the information that I have learned over the years. I've been flying nonstop almost twice a day since 2016. So, and I fly on networks, and I always fly with ATC online, so Pilot Edge predominantly. In the evenings, I'll fly on VATSIM if there's ATC online. I don't hardly ever. Now, there's rare occasions I just want to fly like overseas or something, and I'm not familiar with their procedures over there. Their stars can be a little confusing to people that don't fly them because they're all runway specific. So I tend to stick in the United States, but when I do fly overseas, I don't always fly online just because the accents that the controllers have over there, I don't always understand what they're saying, even though it's English. So I don't know. So I'm never going to say I don't ever fly without ATC, but I would say a good 98% of my flights are guaranteed to have radar services on board. So that's something you get when you watch my videos is 98% of the time you'll have ATC. Unless, of course, if I'm throwing up like a DCS video or Microsoft Flight Sim overseas or something like that, like the DC-6, when I fly that, I fly it on VATSIM, but there's not always ATC because VATSIM, it's what you pay for is free, so they don't guarantee ATC. But the air traffic control on VATSIM on Heathrow and England on that area, they're pretty darn good, so I give them that. Alright, 122.05.
Abbreviated briefing from your current position to Kilo Alpha Bravo Quebec to Kilo Delta Echo November Sigmet Mike 10 valid for turbulence, valid until 2200 Zulu. For your route of flight Ahmed Zulu is valid for icing, valid until 2100 Zulu. For your route of flight current weather conditions Kilo Echo 33 wind 314 at 3 visibility 10 sky condition ceiling 4100 overcast light snow temperature -2 dew point -7 altimeter 2976 for the destination at your estimated arrival time wind 302 at 6 visibility 10 sky condition few clouds at 1200 7500 scattered ceiling 3000 broken temperature -1 dew point -6 altimeter 2984 winds aloft for the en route area at 4000 feet wind 197 at 23.
Abbreviated briefing from your current position to
United 1399 descend via the T-Bar 3 arrival, Denver landing north, altimeter 2984.
Descend via the T-Bar 3 arrival, north transition 2984, United 1399. So instead of a runway transition, it's a direction transition with a star. It could be multiple runways for one transition. So it's one of the things. It's just confusing how they do it overseas to me, just because I'm not used to it. If I flew overseas all the time, I would get used to it and it'd be like cakewalk. I hear the same thing. People that fly overseas that try to fly in the United States, they get confused with our way of doing things. So, you know, it's just what you're used to. I can figure out, I can get by when I fly overseas. It's not always pretty, but I can do it.
Kilo Delta Echo November airport information November 1953 Zulu weather wind 302 at 6 visibility 10 sky condition few clouds at 1100 7400 scattered ceiling 1 Kilo Delta Echo November airport information November 1953 Zulu weather wind 301 at 6 visibility 10 sky condition few clouds at 1100 7004 Kilo Delta Echo November airport information November 1.
Fuel is even. Good on the powers. Good on the hydro. Good on the bleed air. Elevation, landing elevation's correct. All that looks good. Alrighty. So we are looking at 310 at 6. -1. And the barrow, let's just do 50 feet.
the cabin. However, we always recommend to keep your seatbelt fastened while you're seated. You may now turn on your electronic devices, such as calculators, CD players and laptop computers.
Alright, missed approach, climb to 1,000, then right direct to Gil VOR and hold. I think it's Gil. Yep. Climb to 10,000, not 1,000. Direct to Gil. I don't know, maybe I said 10,000. Max 210. Let's see if the star slows us down, which it does, so no problem there. Got 12,000 foot of runway. We'll plan Mike 7, taxi in, park on the south side of Bravo.
Ladies and gentlemen, in a few moments, the flight attendants will be passing around the cabin to offer you cold drinks, as well as a light meal. Please make sure your seats are in an upright position, and prepare your folding trees.
So we got to send via the star. So the lowest we can set the MCP for managed mode right now is 13,000. You don't ever want to set the MCP for your approach altitude to intercept the glide slope at 7,000 until once you're actually clear to fly the approach. Because if you descend out of 13,000, then you have a pilot deviation, and that's against the rules. So once I don't even move this from my cruise altitude until I'm given permission to descend. Doesn't mean you have to descend right away. It just means that it's my reminder that I've been given permission to descend. Now, once I start my descent, then I'll let him know I'm leaving my last assigned altitude of flight level 330. The only time you don't have to let ATC know when you're leaving an altitude is if you're doing VFR with flight following, which is advisories basically. So they don't care if you change altitudes. Your VFR, you're taking care of your own separation from other traffic, hence the VFR. But when you're under IFR, the rules are a little bit different. You can't change altitudes unless you're given permission to do so. And if you're told to descend via, as we are, then you got to abide by all these restrictions. So, you know, at T-bar between flight level 200 and 220, between 17,000 and flight level 210 at 250 knots. So when you descend via, they're basically giving you multiple instructions at one time. That's the magic between a SID and a star, is that they are expecting you to be at these points, at these altitudes, and these speeds, so that way they don't have to manage all the aircraft. They only have to manage aircraft into the star, and then once they have the separation, they would expect that the pilot would abide by these, and then they wouldn't have any type of separation issues. It's all a numbers game. Get our descent winds.
start our descent, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position. Make sure your seat belt is securely fastened, and all carry-on luggage is stowed underneath the seat in front of you, or in the overhead bins. Please turn off all electronic devices until we are safely parked at the gate. We hope that you found our flight enjoyable. We would like to remind you that cushions and blankets are to be left in your seats. Thank you.
Alright, now that we're leaving our last assigned altitude, I gotta let him know. You don't have to say that you're descending via or anything like that because it's the same controller. You didn't change frequencies, so there's no need to say what you're doing. They already know what you're doing. It's the same frequency, so just gotta let them know we're descending. Denver Center, United 1399 is leaving flight level 330.
United 1399, roger.
And you also don't have to say if you're a heavy aircraft or categorized as a heavy, you don't have to say heavy with center. You only have to end your call sign with heavy with any position other than center, because it's more of a separation issue that ATC needs to be reminded about, that you have heavy basically means you create a lot of wake turbulence with the wings, or even like a Concorde with a delta wing creates that massive wake turbulence. So that's why you say heavy, because they have different rules for separation to aircraft that are behind heavy categorized aircraft, such as this one is, which is an Airbus A350. So we create a lot of instability in the air once we travel through it. So once we get to the lower altitudes where separation is way more, the airplanes are a little bit closer together with approach, obviously tower and stuff like that. So everybody needs to know at that point that you're a heavy categorized aircraft. All right, we're coming up to T-bar between 200 and 220. Add a little bit of speed brake here. Just need a smidgen. Try to hold the course line there.
Back all runway assignment and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact you have information Juliet. Denver International Airport. ATIS information Juliet. 1953 Zulu. Wind 300 at 6. Visibility 10. Few clouds at 1,200, 7,500 scattered. Ceiling 13,000 broken. 20,000 broken. Temperature -1. Dew point -6. Altimeter 2984. Arriving runway 34 left. 35 left. 35 right. Departing runway 35 left. 25, 8, 34 right. Visual approaches in use. ILS runway 34 left. ILS runway 34 right. Runway 35 left. And runway 35 at approach in use. Multiple RNL Zulu approaches in use. VFR departures contact clearance delivered. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway assignments and have short instructions. Advise on initial contact you have information Juliet.
Thanks.
-310 minus 6. That's not right. No, it's -1, I think.
United 1399, contact Denver approach 120.35.
Denver approach 120.35, United 13. Alright, so now we gotta say heavy, and we gotta say all the normal stuff. And do not say with you. We're not gonna say with you. Denver approach, United 1399 heavy, descending via the T-bar 3, north transition, leaving flight level 202. Current with Juliet, request ILS, tree 5 left approach from Ladora.
United 1399, Denver approach. Thank you for Juliet. I have your request.
United 1399 heavy copies. So we're not clear to fly the approach, which is why I didn't lower this. Once we're cleared to fly the approach, that will be my reminder. If I look at this and see the glide slope intercept altitude, then I know I've already been approved to fly the approach, but thus far, not approved.
United 1399, heavy, expect ILS, runway 35 left approach.
Expect ILS, tree 5 left approach, United 1399 heavy. What was it, 84? Coming up Monarch between 17 and 210, so can't go below 17. We're on track. It's all good. It's got 1740. Start slowing down. All that is fine. So do auto brake low. Any ice. If you guys like this video, please hit the thumbs up, leave a comment. Anything like that, I do look at comments and will respond. I think it helps with the analytics to get my videos out there if people comment and hit the thumbs up, and naturally subscribe if you think my content is worthy of such a endeavor. If you have questions or anything like that, feel free to ask. I'm by no means an expert on any of this stuff, but I feel pretty comfortable with at least the simulator ATC environment, doing everything mostly correct. I know enough to not get in trouble like I used to. And everybody has to start somewhere. If you don't make mistakes, you ain't trying. Everybody makes mistakes. We gotta be below 15,000 at BD wind, which is in 5 miles. That has us
United
at
1399
14.4.
Heavy, contact Denver approach 123.85.
Denver approach 123.85, United 1399 Heavy. Denver approach, United 1399 Heavy, descending via T-bar 3, runway tree 5 left, transition, leaving 4,900.
United 1399 Heavy, Denver approach at Eldora, cleared ILS, runway 35 left approach.
At Eldora, cleared ILS, tree 5 left approach, United 1399 Heavy. Alright, now we are cleared the approach. So now I can bring this bad boy down to 7,000. And that is my reminder that we have been cleared to fly that approach. And since we're not landing the other direction, I don't need that anymore.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to remind you that use of all electronic devices during descent and landing is prohibited as it may interfere with the navigational equipment. Thank you.
Alright, we're going to do a landing lights on because Denver will do all the lights. It's 5,000 feet, so technically at 15,000 feet it would be 10,000 feet above the field, so we'll turn on the lights there. And we're going to stop this at 210. Because it may be in the, it's not in the approach phase yet, but it will be soon. Alright, these runways have their own frequencies. That's the other good thing with Pilot Edge. Whatever the chart shows is what you use. VATSIM, you use whatever frequency they happen to be using for a tower. So whatever the chart says, like you would in real world, is what you use on Pilot Edge. So in this case, for runway 35 left, we're going to do 124.3. I've got that ready to rock. And ground is 0.85. I'm going to write that down. 124.3, so yep, we'll be good to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, in a few minutes our aircraft will land at the destination airport. For your safety, we ask you to remain seated until the aircraft comes to a complete stop and the fasten seatbelt sign is turned off. When preparing to depart, please make sure to take all your personal belongings with you. Attention international travelers. If you are continuing your flight, follow the signs to international transit area.
Group is 11,000. So if we were landing on the other way, which would have been 16 right, the frequency would have been 135.3. 135.3. 3 is tree, 5 is fife. Although hardly anyone ever actually uses fife. No one would knock you for doing it because it's proper. All right, wind is 350. At 6, temperature 7. I mean 1, dang it. I keep doing that. 10, all that is fine. missed approach is Denver approach. United 1399 Heavy, request switch tower.
United 1399 to accept any there. Contact Denver Tower.
Over to tower, United 1399. Denver Tower, United 1399 Heavy, option localizer, tree 5 left.
United 1399 Denver Tower, runway 35 left, clear to land with 30016.
Tree 5 left, clear to land, United 1399 Heavy.
Five hundred. 400. 300.
Autopilot off.
200. 100. Minimum 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Nice floater there, huh? It's alright. I want to exit at Mike 7 anyway.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captain turns off the evacuation outside. At that point, we will depark the gate until it's safe to pick it up. Check around your seats for any personal belongings. Use caution when opening overhead bins, as luggage may have moved around during flight. If you need assistance when deboarding, please remain seated until everyone...
Denver Tower, United 1399 Heavy, looking for south side of Bravo Terminal.
United 1399 taxi to parking via Mike Echo Charlie, monitor ground point 85.
Parking via Mike, Echo Charlie, monitor ground point 85, United 1399 Heavy. Thanks, we'll see you.
See ya.
Alright, monitoring tower, and we'll turn off landing lights and strobes. And we'll get the APU going here. Alright, we have arrived at Denver, y'all. Yes, I am from the south. Actually, not originally. I'm from Philadelphia originally. But most of my life at this point has been in the great sunny sunny state of Florida. However, it's funny to me that they call it the sunny state considering it rains all the time in the summer. It's a tropical state, so not sure why they came up with sunny. Now it is beautiful though during the spring and beginning of winter where it doesn't rain that much. The temperatures are really nice. Low humidity. That's my favorite time of year in this state. Still pressurizing. Once that gets to 5,000, I wonder if there's a faster way. I'm not gonna do it this time, but guess you could do that. But it's all right. It's almost there. This takes a while. I wonder if I raise that. That didn't change anything, did it? Here we go. 9,000. Whoop, too much. Too much. 1,000. There we go. That's how we'll do it. Got to equalize the pressure. All right, that should do it. Need that on.
Disconnected.
158, we'll take that. Let's see if it works today. I swear they got the worst ACARs. I am so trying to figure out if I want to move to a different United virtual airline because their stuff never works properly. And it's not like this one airplane, like it happens on every single airplane. So now I gotta go to United virtual website, make sure that took, which it did. So good there. Cancel that out. All right, guys. If you enjoyed the flight, leave a comment. If you have a question, leave a comment and hit the thumbs up. Appreciate y'all, and we'll catch you next time. Chase out.